So, hello everyone. Welcome to another session with duos. So today we'll be talking about Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's a very tough game. It's going to be very serious, very crazy. I have you in the studio with me, my very good friend Suntao, very aggressive Chelsea fan,
I won't say aggressive. I think I'm passionate. All right. I've been doing
aggressive and
this for,
passionate
yeah, I've
Chelsea
been
fan.
supporting Chelsea over 20 years, so I better be passionate about it.
Yeah, so he's very much into Chelsea. So today we'll be talking about the game. It's going to be very interactive. We're just going to talk mainly about the team, formation, tactics, everything involving tomorrow's game. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So stay tuned. Personally, I'm not confident in our current form. Simply because even though it looks like we've played 5 games, we've won three and lost two. I don't think we're still in a good spot to win against Arsenal because even for those that we won against Leicester and Southampton, they are way below at the bottom of the league table.
Yep. I mean, in our past 5 games, I think we've won against Copenhagen, we won against Leicester, and we won against Copenhagen again. Right? That's our last 3 games. I there's not a lot of data you can get out of that, right? Because they're both. I mean,
I
I,
didn't
I don't
even
know.
look at Copenhagen because I was only looking at EPL games. But
Right, but
Copenhagen, yes, you can see that about them. But in terms of competition, they don't really pose that much of a threat, even though they're on top of their league. But I don't think that league is very
oh,
competitive
so you don't want
compared
to talk about Conference League now, right? Because I thought that was,
well,
I mean,
Conference League.
when I say I don't want to talk about Conference League, you guys get mad about it. Can get mad about it, but now you don't. But now you don't want to talk about
The
Conference
reason
League,
I
huh?
didn't bring that up is because you don't like talking about Conference League because you feel like it's way below our level. And
I agree, but I think I'm bringing that in now because we played 2 games with Copenhagen, and both games we've actually we started introducing our main players in, right? Palmer played,
correct.
Moises played. We started playing Sancho. We started playing all these players. Cucurella played the last game, right? So I agree. Normally I wouldn't bring it in, but because we've started to introduce some of our main players and our main threats in, it's good data, right? It's a trend because basically, if I'm not mistaken, I think the team that played against Copenhagen in our last game, they could be almost the same team that plays again against Arsenal.
But we were still
So why
struggling.
not?
We were still
Again,
struggling
exactly. That's what I mean. So I agree.
against
I agree with your
Copenhagen, bro.
sentiment. Yeah,
Copenhagen.
I agree. I agree with your sentiment to say that yeah, you're not confident. I'm not confident at all. To me, this game is a write off. Right? We haven't talking going with the form. We haven't won against Arsenal in 6 games in the Premier League. Right? If you include the friendly, the thrashing they gave us in the USA 2 years ago, if you include that, we haven't won against them in 7 games.
That's
Arsenal
crazy.
used us. Arsenal. We used to be. They used to be our. We used to be our their bookie boys. We
Yeah.
just beat them anyhow when we had Drogba.
So
Even
what
post
happened?
Drogba,
What happened?
I think the board happened. So let me tell you this. So something very important happened in the last Premier League game we beat them, August 2021. That was Lukaku's return.
Hmm.
After the game, right? Arteta said something very important. He said Chelsea is a well-run club. This is how a club is supposed to look like. This was when Arteta had just come to Arsenal, right, and starting to put things together, and they were struggling. They were trying to look for players. They were trying to look for the identity. And he said Chelsea is a well-run club. This is the club that Arsenal wants to. This is how Arsenal wants to be like, right? 6 months later, we all know what happens. Ukraine, whatever war, right? And then now all of a sudden, Abramovich is kicked out, right? Lukaku did an interview, whatever, and everything came crashing, right? Tuchel got fired, and now we've not been able to beat them in 6 games.
That's
Six
crazy. That's
games.
that's
So if
crazy.
you're telling me what happened, only one thing happened. Whatever Arteta said changed. What he said was we are a well-run club, and now we're not anymore. That is your answer right there.
Bro, that is crazy. Because at a point in time, Arsenal were really afraid of Chelsea. Anytime they were
Yep.
coming to play against us, they were always scared, and it was more like they were big competition for us. It doesn't look like
Oh
we are
yeah.
competition for them anymore. If
No,
we
we're not.
haven't won in 6 games, 6 EPL games against them, that is crazy.
No, I think in the last 6 games we played against them, I mean, a lot of those games have been 4-5 nils.
Yeah. The last time we
Right.
won against them was August 2021. That is
Yep.
crazy.
In 2024, right? April 2024, they beat us 5-0,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was in Emirates. So again, it's in context because it's very important. We are playing them in Emirates, and in Emirates they always thrash us. May 2023, May 2023, they beat us 3-1, right? In Emirates. July 2022, they beat us. Well, that was that was a friendly game, right? And then in 2022, April, they beat us 4-2. So
Yeah, 4-2.
we, yeah, we've been playing
And that
very
was
bad
Stanford
against
Bridge.
Arsenal. Yeah, that was Stamford Bridge, correct. That was
That's
Stamford
crazy.
Bridge. So
Crazy.
we're definitely struggling against them. If any Chelsea fan has some confidence, I need to. I mean, I need some of that Kool-Aid you're drinking because I mean, there must be something in there, right? I don't know. I have zero hope in the game tomorrow. Zero. I don't even know why we're having this conversation. We shouldn't be having this conversation.
These games, when it comes to the big clubs or the big teams, it's not really about form. Obviously, when it comes to head to head, we versus Arsenal, they've actually thrashed us in the last 6 games. So this is very relevant here. I don't expect us to win. I'm expecting us to manage a draw, hopefully. But if you win, that's good for us. So in terms of Arsenal's form, I mean, yes, we've had a dip in form, but Arsenal's form, what do you think? Yes, personally, I think that they are not bad. They're second. They're second, and
Yeah, I think yeah.
they've
Yeah,
won
you're right.
two out of their last 5 games. They've drawn two and they've lost one.
In the
So
Premier League.
in the Premier League, yes, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They are not. It's more like a 50% or let's say 40% win rate in the last 5 games. So they are not really top, but they are not also bad. Okay, so in that vein, yeah, we can try to get something out of them. But considering the form that we have at the moment, I don't think it's something that we can really. I can confidently say that we are going to win. But what do you also think of Arsenal's form at this point?
They've only lost one in the past 5, and that was against West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham.
Interestingly, Porter, right? The guy that we let go, rightfully so.
We won against them too. We won 2-1 against them.
1-1 against West Ham, right? So
Yeah.
maybe, right? I'm really trying not to get my hopes up high, right? Because it's not healthy with Chelsea getting your hopes up. But if
But
our
isn't it
last
good
game,
news? They lost against West Ham. We won against them.
well, they beat. I mean, they beat City 5-1. City beat us 3-1. So
Well,
doesn't
you're
matter.
right.
That's football, right? And
You're right.
they beat City 5-1. I just hope we keep it down. Just keep it minimal.
And they
Right, just
won.
keep it
They
minimal.
won against Leicester 2-0. We
Yeah, just
won
keep it
against them
simple.
1-0.
Keep it minimal. Get your 2-1, 1-0, and get out of there. Right? To me, this game is a write-off. I think we have bigger problems than just this Arsenal game. It's a write-off for me. It's a write-off. I'm sorry.
What
I'm
is the
sorry,
right
any
of what
Chelsea
you mean?
fans
You think
listening.
that we're not going to win? We're going to draw?
Yeah, I just said it. Keep it minimal. 2-1, 1-0, get out of there.
You don't trust your club.
I don't trust the manager. I don't trust this type of players we have.
You don't think he's that manager with a mindset
No.
that can get something out
No.
of tough
A
games?
manager who is being so autonomous with his tactics. A manager who is literally limiting the type of players he have. We have such exciting young players. You need to allow them to play. Look at how Arteta's having Luis Skelly and Nwaneri play, giving them this chance to go out there, right, and attack. And then there was this time in our game against Copenhagen, was it Leicester, where Palmer got the ball. He ran with it, couldn't find anybody, right? And then because he's so scared to shoot, he just passed it back and we lost the ball. And after the game, Maresca's response was, well, the players know, right? If they kick the ball long or pass forward, they will be substituted. If the goalkeeper knows if he kicks the ball long, he will be substituted. Fernandez knows that if he kicks the ball forward, right, he will be substituted. What kind of
But
stupid
isn't that what we were
instruction
doing
is that?
that was making us win those games? Those were the times that we're
Yeah.
winning. So
Us-
you think that is
you
what
rem-
made us start losing?
I mean, I don't think it's only down to that, but you made a great point. You remember, I think it was the Aston Villa game. That Palmer pass to Neto, right? And then Neto to Jackson, right? He made a little ball straight down to Neto. Neto run through it, beat his man, passed it to Jackson, and it was a goal. That was 3 passes, and we scored. No, actually 2 passes, and we scored. But now he don't want us doing that no more. I don't understand, dude. I am so confused with how we're playing right now. Super confused with how we're playing right now. So you may be right. Maybe it has something to do with it. I don't know if it's because maybe he
Hold
has
that
some
thought.
personal changes.
Hold that thought. Pen it a bit. Hold it. You
Okay.
mentioned Jackson. I know he's not part of this game, okay, but you think Jackson's absence is the reason why we're struggling? I think we were even struggling before he went injured.
Oh
But
yeah,
do you
we
think
were.
he's playing? His injury is, I mean, a big is playing a key role in why we're struggling.
It could tie into why he don't want Chelsea playing the ball long anymore because we don't really have any attacker that is like giving the opposition defense something to think about, right? We're not stretching the defense, we're not attacking them, we're not giving them problems, we're not doing that no more, right? So maybe that's why he's like, okay, let's contain them, have them come onto us, and we play the ball behind them. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But I feel like we have such lazy attackers, maybe except Neto, who was always running. Apart from that, I don't see how we don't have any
But
other winger
Neto's runs, is it
that would
really
do that.
awesome? Is it really impacting us in any way in terms of positive impact?
That's because he's a winger, and anytime he crosses the ball in, we have very little impact in the 18-yard box, so he's not really impacting the goal. That's what I think is happening. But I agree with you. I think sometimes he runs too fast, and our other attackers or other wingers can't keep up.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, with the game that is coming up, I'm not even seeing any standout player. Obviously, I used to think that Casedo obviously will be our standout player, but I'm not so sure at this point. There was a time when it was always Palmer, but now Palmer's form has dipped. I'm not going to blame him. I've talked about that in our previous games. The whole team is not doing well, so maybe that might be impacting him as well. But with this game, would you think we have somebody who's going to be a standout player? Before you come in, let me say that I'm thinking Cucurella. You think it's somebody who could be a standout player for us in tomorrow's game?
Man, I feel like you set me up because you know you know my comments on Cucurella before you started kicking off, right? Or even last season. This season he surprised me a bit, right? And so yeah, I agree. I think Cucurella could be a game changer. But he's coming up against Wanyeri. Wanyeri is very fast. He's very tricky. Right, he's made Arsenal not miss Saka so much. To me, I think he's even a little better than Saka in terms of dribbling the ball and getting past his man. I still expect more from Nkunku, man. I don't know what I want something from him. I
Before
think
we
he
look
start from
into
the
the
left.
before we look into the potential lineup, from a tactical standpoint, do you see Chelsea exploiting Arsenal's defenses or weaknesses in any way?
We couldn't do that against Copenhagen. I don't see how we would. I don't see how we will. So no, I
You
don't.
don't see
I
your
don't
coach
agree.
as tactical enough to play against the top team and try to win against them. Well, I mean, from what we've seen, let's look at our game against Man City. It was as if we were afraid of City. We were
hmm
just laying back, trying to defend, and we were not. I don't know. I felt like we were scared when we were playing a big team. We play as if we were scared of them.
So the first 20 minutes, we were very good. City couldn't match us. City couldn't keep the ball, right? Because we're very quick, right? We had Jackson. I think did Noni play? I think
I
Noni
can't
played that game.
recollect the
No,
yeah.
yeah, he did. He did play. I think he scored a goal actually.
Okay.
Yeah, he scored a goal. He played. So Noni was very quick. We had very quick attackers, right? And they were really moving quick. And so I think the recipe for Chelsea to do well is to be quick and move the ball quick and pass the ball forward. Pass the damn ball forward. Stop trying to play among you and pass the damn ball forward. So once we do that, it would help us. So they knew that in our midfield, we are very good there. And they decided to just completely go with the wings, right? And I think that really helped them. I don't know. Arsenal has very good wings, right? They got Trossard, they have Nwaneri, right? Those two will be very important. So I don't know. Maybe Chelsea will try to exploit them, but I don't know how we're gonna do it. I'm out of words. I'm out of words. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't see how we're gonna be successful in this game.
I'm just trying to look at how Arsenal is going to set up against us.
hmm
Keeper, obviously, are going to play Raya. They have Lewis Kelly, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber in defense.
hmm
Pate will be the pivot. We have Odegaard, Rice supporting him in midfield. We have Trossard on the wings. and Nwaneri on the right side and Martinelli on that side. Do you think
Martinelli will play over
Havertz?
Trossard? Havertz will not play. Havertz is injured.
Yeah, so Trossard is playing on the left side. That is the potential predicted lineup.
So that means you think Trossard Trossard will start from the bench then?
No, Trossard will be on the left wing. Martinelli will be more like the striker.
I think he's going to play Moreno. I think he's going to play Moreno. He's going to play Moreno as a striker. So I think it's going to be Trossard starting from the right, from the left, and then Nwaneri on the right, and then Martinelli will come from the bench. I think Trossard will play, but I agree with you. I think Martinelli is very good against Chelsea, so he may start. I don't know. I think Martinelli is missing some match fitness, so maybe I think he'll start from the bench and he will just play.
Or there are players who miss match fitness, but they end up coming and scoring against Chelsea. So
yeah, I don't doubt that he will play. I think Martinelli will play, but I think he's gonna start from the bench.
Okay. From Chelsea's, what do you think will be the potential lineup for Chelsea? Obviously, I think he mentioned that we're going to have Sanchez. I think our last game against Arsenal, he made those mistakes and we're punished in there. I hope he doesn't make those mistakes again. But he's returning. He's getting back into the EPL team. We have Cucurella on the left wing, Colwill, Fofana, defense. We have James on the right side.
I think James, but last time he didn't play James though, did he? He played Jehovah's Son. So I don't know.
Oh, he played Jehovah's Son. Okay. So let's see. This is just a prediction.
I think James will start. I think James will start. I think he didn't start James. I think he didn't start James versus Copenhagen. He didn't start Cucurella versus Copenhagen because he wanted them resting for this game. So I think James and Cucurella will start.
And he started talking about playing James in midfield. I hope he's not going to play James in midfield this time around. He should play James in his natural position, which is the right side. I hope he doesn't.
I agree, but I think he plays them there because we are so weak in the midfield.
Yeah, but we being weak in midfield doesn't mean James is the right player for that position. That's my problem.
Who do you think should play there? We don't have.
We have Fernandes. We have Caicedo. He should still maintain that. I don't think he should change this at this point. We will get punished if James comes in. Let James play on his right side. Let him play where he's playing. I don't want us to make any disruptions to the team now. We are suffering already. The disruption that against a team like Arsenal is going to get us punished.
I agree, but I think the midfield needs some help. And so that's why he's always playing them, because I think that's why he was always playing James in the midfield.
We needed help, but we sold Casadei. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, what we got is what we got. We sold Gallagher. That should be the actual conversation we have. We sold Gallagher for Lavia, and Lavia hasn't played 90 minutes for Chelsea since we signed him. Don't even get me started with the players.
We'll have a separate podcast on Lavia. We'll have a separate podcast on Lavia.
My God, this dude is stealing 11, man. He really.
I wish I had that. 11. Not even like he's living a vacation in Chelsea. But we'll come
he's
back.
Still in 11. He is still in 11. I don't know how he sleep at night.
Yeah, I will have Palmer playing. Hopefully, we'll have Palmer playing on the 10th position, right behind Neto, with Nkunku playing on the left and Sancho on the right. Sancho, I have a number of questions about him. I haven't really seen him stand out ever since he joined Chelsea.
News came out over the week, right, that Chelsea may not trigger the transfer, right? We may decide to opt out, and I heard if we opt out, it's about 20 million pounds or euros, whatever. We may decide to not trigger it or opt out. So if we decide to opt out, we pay the fee. But if we decide to sign him, I think we sign him for 25 million. So for the club or the news to come out saying, and I think it was broken by mad law, which I agree, right? And I believe it. If Chelsea decide not to, sign him and opt out, and we deciding to opt out and pay $20 million, right, and not sign him for $25 million, right? That tells you a lot about how much the club, value him.
That is a very tricky decision, because if you're letting the player go, you're going to pay 20 million, but if you sign him, you're going to pay 25 million. I think.
Have you seen his wages?
Yeah, I've seen his wages.
That is the reason why they want him to
go. Why don't we? I think that we can probably buy him and sell him later and make something out of it than just
no one is going to pay the wages.
They paid 20 million. That's a big loss. I don't think we've actually got that value of him.
No one is paying the wages, right? No one is going to pay the wages. So you not. And if he decides, well, I don't want to go.
But he's an extra resource for you.
Have you ever seen any impact from him? The only time he scores is when Chelsea's like 3 or 4 up. Haven't seen a single impact
No
from him.
assist.
Bro,
Nothing.
let's be serious. Let's be serious, right? And if this guy is getting 300,000 pounds, right, a week, that is 15 million, right?
Mhm.
That's 15.6 million a year. If he stays here for 2 years, or if we sign him and we decide to sign him for 3 years, right? Which Chelsea probably will stretch it 8 years, and he decides, oh, guess what? I don't really have to do anything. I'm just gonna stay. And he stays for 3 years. That's gonna cost you almost 50 million. So they're doing the math and saying we'd rather pay the $20 million right now and get out
That's true.
than buying for 25 and still have to pay him wages of close to 50 million pounds. No, let him go. We don't need it. Let him go.
Well, you're right.
We
You're
don't
right. I mean, in the long term, it
In
looks
the long
like
term, it's gonna cost us a lot more
it's going
money.
to cost us. In the long term, it's going to cost us. But if you're just looking at short term balancing our books and all that, we can probably just, I mean, yeah.
And remember, we have Sterling coming back. Who's also on another 300,000 pounds a week,
It's crazy.
right? We have Chilwell coming back, who's also another 300,000 pounds a week. So we can't have all this deadwood on wages,
That's
right?
true.
When we're trying to
That's right.
sign some player, we got to pay him the 20 million, pay the one-time lump sum, and let him go and go into the market and get some big fish in.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Because instead of paying that 300,000 pounds for him, maybe go get Osimhen. Because last time we couldn't get Osimhen because of wages. Okay, pay him the real wages and get him in.
Yeah, you're right. We need that striker, but then again, I'm sure we'll have a separate conversation on that. What do you think? I mean, if we should get Osimhen, what is the impact on Jackson?
Jackson starts from the left.
Interesting.
We
Let's
scouted.
spin that.
Remember we scouted Jackson as a winger, not a striker.
You're
All
correct.
of our strikers have been disappointing, and that's the reason why we decided, okay, he's doing good. Let's play him there, but he's not really a striker. I'm not trying to make excuses for him because I think he's outperforming his expectations.
Let's see how that goes. So I think we've spent some time here. What are your last words going into the game?
I'm expecting something different from Maresca. I want him to show me that he's worth it. I'm giving him the last chance. I know you're gonna lose, but change something. Don't play the same damn tactics and go get beat. That is insanity and that is stupidity. If I see he's playing the same game, the same tactics, I'm gonna switch the TV off and go have a better day. I think it's gonna be a loss. It's gonna be a 2-1 loss or a 1-0 loss. That's my hope. I think it's gonna be more. Right? My head is telling me it's gonna be more, but my heart is telling me keep it down. Right? 2-1, 1-0, and get out. And hopefully we see something from the team. We see something from the boys that would get us, happy again, coming into the crunch time. Because remember, if you go back and look at Chelsea's last 4 games of the season, all of them could be a loss. So we better start picking up some points now.
That is true.
I did some math. Our next 10 games, right, to the run into the end of the season, I think Chelsea's getting about 10 points. If we can get these little points right now and get the fans going, it's going to be a rough time for us.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we win this game. Like you said, I don't have any confidence that we're going to win looking at our last games. I'm hoping it's either a draw or a win, which you and I know that might not be possible.
Yeah, I need some of that Kool-Aid you're drinking.
Yeah, I think that might not be possible, but
we need to take it to the lab and see what the heck is in it.
I'm just going to be optimistic and see how we make it. So thank you very much, Santao. It was a great session. It was great having you back. And yeah, we hope to have more videos, more collaborations going forward.
All right, let's go.